Hi everyone, my name is Becca. I'm one of the Master General Agents here at the Store Agencies of Boston. Little background on me. I started with the company a little over 3 years ago. And what I'm going to go over with you guys today, just talk a little bit about referrals in general, more specifically insurance referrals, the mindset behind it. Going to go over some verbiage with you as well. So first thing what I want to talk about when it comes to the mindset of the referrals and just insurance referrals in general is one, and you can take a note of this, is that you have that referrals are higher ALP per sale, as well as higher close ratio, higher show ratio, just an easier presentation in general. So those are a couple things that you definitely want to take some notes on. What I'm also going to be going over with you is to talk a little bit about verbiage, how to collect them, what to look out for when doing this. When I first started, I was not super good at referrals. I collected just enough to get me by. But what happened was I wasn't collecting quality referrals. And I knew that, if the only way that I make money is to sell insurance, well, then I should probably get really good at insurance referrals. Just to have an easier sit, higher close, higher show, so on and so forth. So first things first, guys, when you're collecting referrals, biggest thing is rapport, okay? They buy you first, the product second, the company third. So with that being said, the rapport, you have to have it throughout the presentation, but specifically in the beginning, to gain their trust, know that, the client knows you're there to be their friend, and they'll trust you throughout the presentation, and that'll give you more of an ability to collect more referrals. So finding out in the beginning, do you have any close friends, family in the area? That's always a good question to ask so you can gauge, if their family's out of state, or if they're close by, who specifically is, close in the area, mom, dad, sister, brother, so on and so forth. Another thing, like I was talking about with the report, make sure that you're engaged. If you're not engaged in the presentation, your client's not going to be. So you guys have to be on the same wavelength of being engaged throughout the presentation. Couple things too, you want to be very precise. So we don't always, obviously less is more, but we always want to make sure that our client knows exactly what we're talking about throughout the presentation. So you'll see, at the end, you want to, at the end of IRTs or child safe, wherever you are in the presentation, you want to ask them, does this make sense? Because if it doesn't and you don't ask, that might lead to less referrals or no referrals at all. So making sure that the clients engage and know what you're talking about. Couple things I want to talk about too to get the quality of referrals, not only by, figuring out in the beginning who you want to get as referrals, but also during the IRTs. So for those of you that don't know what that is, that's the intro recap tie down. When we talk about final expenses, we talk about income protection, mortgage protection, and children's education as well. You want to make sure that your IRTs during the presentation are on point. Making sure that the client knows how all the benefits works, how it'll help them out in their individual situation. So make sure you're very thorough with those as well. When you're coming into the down closing process as well, let's say, for example, that your client agrees on full inflation, but you know because you're the professional that might not be the best option for them. Okay. So with that being said, if you see someone that really likes the full inflation, but at the same time you don't think that, it would be comfortable for them, make suggestions as well, because if you're making suggestions for the client, they'll say, oh, okay, well, you know what? My agent, they're putting my best interest at hand. Okay. So that's a couple things there. I want to go over the mindset of insurance referrals with who do we want to get insurance referrals. So when I think insurance referrals, I think mom, I think dad, brother, sister, cousins, maybe a best friend. I'm not thinking of, just someone, an acquaintance of theirs. I want something and someone that's very close to home for these people, okay? Because obviously, think about it this way. If they have insurance, who's going to be taking care of their parents' final expenses? They are, right? So we need to just make sure that everyone in the whole family is taken care of for sure. So that's who I'm thinking of. Those are quality people. Because if I give you, a referral and it's my mother, obviously you say, oh, Rebecca referred you, she's going to say, oh, okay, so I'll definitely meet with you. If Rebecca thinks you're a nice person, then, I will too. So they're going to be more prone to meet with you. And that's what I'm getting at. It's just a higher close, higher show, getting those close niche referrals. So what I'm going to go over is a little bit of verbiage, that I say to these clients, and you'll see in another video that I do. I'm going to role play this a little bit. With someone, but some of the verbiage that I'll use when collecting referrals at the end of the presentation is something along the lines. So Nate, I know we went over a lot today, okay? But the greatest part of this program is to be able to, the ability to sponsor and your closest family members and friends to receive the same benefit program. All right, so Nate, we went over the final expense protection, so your children and family don't have to go through that financial burden. We went over that we protected your income so your children's lifestyle didn't have to change. And we're making sure that food's staying on the table, heat and rent's being paid. And we also assured that your child will go to college if you're taken out of the picture prematurely. So I know you probably have a few close family members and friends that would love these benefits as well. All right. So I know you said in the beginning that you have, brothers, sisters that live close by. Let's start with them. What's their name? Okay. And then when you're collecting referrals, just like any referrals, it's simply keeping your head down and saying, okay, who's next? Who's next? Don't overcomplicate it. Who's next? If they're only at 2 referrals, say, hey, Nate, why don't you go scroll through your phone, A through Z real quick, just to make sure that we get everyone. All right. Anyone that you may have missed that might have just not come to the top of your head. All right. Does that make sense? So we will go through that. And that's the way that I really get the insurance referrals, guys. You know what I mean? It's really thinking about who exactly you want to sit with, and it's a much easier sale. And again, like I said, if we sell insurance and we make money off selling insurance, why not go through the insurance referrals? Are you going to get as many of them as maybe a child safe? Maybe, maybe not. However, they are the quality referral that you are gonna get. And you can always dig for what I like to call ammo too, guys. So, when you're collecting these referrals, ask them, ask the person that's sponsoring them, hey, does this person work? What do they do for work? How many kids do they have? Because obviously, if we're getting people that don't work, we can't get them insurance, okay? So ask a little bit about the referrals that you're getting so you have some ammo going into those sits as well. Another thing is, guys, best way to get these people on a Zoom with you is by rolling them, okay? Or at least bare bones minimally, just making sure that they're texted, okay? Because if they're not going to probably know exactly anything what you're talking about if that person that's sponsored doesn't let them know that you're going to call. And that's with any referral, whether, contingent beneficiaries, insurance referrals, child safe, discount cards, so on and so forth. They're not going if they don't know that you're going to be calling, it's going to be a little harder for you to get them on the Zoom or sit with them, if that all makes sense. All right. So with that being said, guys, what I really hope that you got from this video was two key points is, make sure that you're being specific with the people that you want your clients to sponsor in on, and, just making sure that you're doing what's in the best interest for the client, because that's going to make them trust you even more so you get more referrals. All right. But 2 most important things that you're going to need to really get good at your career here is making sure that 1, you're getting good with referrals, all types of them, and 2, making sure that you guys are good with phones as well, which you'll also see in some other videos on this modular too. But I hope you guys got a lot out of this today. Please reach out for some help if you need it, and I'll see you guys on the board.